Okay, so this is the investment series. This is my son Justin, who graduated from the University of Maryland in 2016 as a mechanical engineer. Go Terps!
2017.
My bad. Yeah, that was a 5-year school, right?
Yeah.
No, but you did it in 4.
Well, 3 at CSM and 2 at UMD.
Okay, so
Whatever.
2017. Okay, whatever.
2017.
Anyway, this is his car. He's not driving a Tesla, but he moved out and he got this 2016 BMW M3. That is correct, right? There you go. Can't get him into the EV world, but that's fine because he was born in Germany, so he has those German roots. Has to have a BMW, an Audi. That's his first car. Then he bought this one. But anyway, so I was telling everybody basically how I got you started in investing. It was in our front yard, which is over here. And what you're going to do for your future, for your 21st birthday, we talked about investments. And it was about a week long and getting you started with what's the difference between a stock and a mutual fund, dollar cost averaging, that kind of stuff. And then I bought you your first mutual fund at 21 for your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, you've been investing on your own without any guidance from me.
That's right. Yeah.
Why is that?
Really just to try to diversify, where money's saved at and try to build some long-term savings.
Okay, so without naming any companies, you decided to go with stocks first, right? Instead of a mutual fund.
Right. Well, other than the one that we had already set up.
Okay, so can you tell our viewers what's the difference between a mutual fund and a stock?
So a stock is a share in a single company that goes up and down based on how that company is doing. And then a mutual fund is like an aggregate of a bunch of companies together that kind of changes based on how companies are doing as a whole.
Okay. And I think we also talked about companies in the Dow Jones Industrial Average.
Yep.
So after you left our house and you moved on your own, you started investing with I didn't prod you, but we did talk about for your future. How old are you?
26.
26. And by the time you're my age, you think you should be a millionaire.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, you should be. So you sat down and you decided you're going to start buying stocks and companies, things like that?
Yeah. So I actually started using Robinhood. I mean, just being a millennial, being familiar with, different phone apps and stuff. I started in Robinhood just buying individual kind of stocks and stuff and doing a bit of research to see, what companies were doing well, which companies weren't, and then buying up some just with extra money I had, at the end of the month. And then after a while, I transitioned out of Robinhood, but the idea is still the same. Just at the end of each month or throughout each month, just with money that I have left over, instead of putting some into a bank account and then taking some and using it to invest, just to kind of spread out, where everything is, where your money is. And you basically just try to get everything, I don't know what the word is, but just kind of, spread out more. Diversified, exactly, right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So are your stocks and the mutual fund that you own, are your stocks tied to a 401k or an IRA, rather? I'm sorry.
The first mutual fund, the one that we set up that you mentioned earlier, is tied to an IRA. Mm-hmm. And then being a government employee, I also have TSP, which is tied to an IRA. Mm-hmm. But other than that, the other ones that I'm talking about buying are not. They're just individual stocks or individual mutual funds.
All right. So the reason why we tied your mutual fund to a Roth IRA is because of the future. Mm-hmm. So you have that, unless you withdraw it, you're going to get penalized, but you will have that until you are whatever the new age is to start withdrawing from that. And I think that's smart money.
Right. And
along with your TSP or thrift savings plan, as we have in the government. Now, you do have a savings account. Mm-hmm. Like me, I put money in my savings account every Saturday without fail. I have my stocks, I have my mutual funds, I have my TSP, and hopefully you are mirroring that mm-hmm. by my guidance, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so the savings account is separate. I use a high interest savings account, so it's not just money sitting there. You get a small amount of interest on it, but that's just kind of put aside. The money that I use for investing is something that obviously the market goes up and down, so anything that I try to invest, it's something that I wouldn't mind, if it were to, lose a bunch of money or a bunch of value, because it can go back up at any point as well. So
okay. So how many stocks would you say that you have?
From different companies or
Yeah.
shares?
No, different companies.
Just 10 to 15 maybe.
10 to 15. Okay.
Yeah, nothing too crazy.
So 15 is crazy. I think I have about 12. So,
Okay.
so what makes you buy or sell? What triggers you to buy stocks or the companies that you bought, or sell the companies that you bought?
So right now I'm just doing buying. I haven't done much selling unless there's like, the company is really doing bad or I really need to get out of it or something. But I haven't really sold much.
Are you brand loyal like me? I'm typically brand loyal. I will ride a company until it's, until I can see a negative loss.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm like brand loyal in a sense that I'll buy a brand just based on, like, oh, I like Apple or I like Samsung or something and just buy because of that. Not necessarily, no.
Mm-hmm.
I would look into how they've done in the past, look at, what they've done in the past 6 months, what they've done in the past year, and then see where it looks like they're going to go from there, whether they're trending up or they're trending down, and then try to buy based on, what I would want to do with that stock. So most of mine have been for kind of like long term. So if it drops a little bit here and there, it's not a big deal. But some people also will try to buy and sell, quickly to make a quick gain based on whether they're going up or down.
Mm-hmm.
So really, whether or not, what I look for is whether or not a company kind of has like a long term, or it looks like they'll have like long term success.
Okay. So we're going to continue this conversation in our next episode, and we're going to find out more some of the tips that Justin can give you.